Ni hao, YouTube. That's what the Chinese say for hello. So that's why I have, the Chinese get up. And something that's very un-Chinese, which is coffee. So if you spend 2.5 weeks in China, you're going to sprint towards the next Starbucks or try to get any kind of coffee, that you can get your hands on, because it's all tea in China. So I wanted to let you know what's coming up next on my channel in the coming probably weeks and months, because when I look at the stuff that's around me, I'm like, holy crap, that's gonna be work. It started with having fun with pedals and showing you shit and playing and being silly, and now I look at this stuff and I'm not, yeah, a new pedal, it lasts for a couple seconds and I'm like, yeah, a lot of work with the video. So hey, that's what it is. Anyway, some things that are coming up. Let's go back and look at things that we have done. Of course, not all of you have seen all videos, and some of you actually don't know that there are some videos available that might help you in making an informed buying decision. I have done videos for the Thomann edition of the T-Rex pedals. They have 4 T-Rex pedals. What is the Ego Drive, the Dual Drive, which are nice overdrives, but especially the playback delay and the Ghost tone reverb. Now, when I did the reviews and the demos, they were €119 each, which for a T-Rex pedal of this quality is pretty nice. I mean, hey, it says made in China, but we know that's not a bad thing. So now all of a sudden I go to Thomann and these show up for €89. So that's what I want to tell you. If you're in the market for an analog sounding delay, it is digital, but it's analog sounding, it really sounds good, and it is tappable, which many delays do not have, and it's a very useful function. €89, that is absolutely, I gotta say that, a real steal. Same goes for this reverb. 4 different modes: spring, room, hall, and an LFO mode, which is a hall with kind of modulation. It is always subtle, it never gets in the way of your guitar. It's one of the most usable reverbs I've ever used. Used. Okay, anyway, great reverb. €89, what the fuck? If you're in the market for a delay or a reverb, this should be something you look at. So check out my videos for those. Let's talk about looper switcher doohickeys. There are so many out there and it's always confusing, and I've done my research. I went to China, I wanted to talk to Joyo about some new looper ideas. We didn't really have time for that. Man, if we had had time for that, you would have had the best switcher series on the market. But I'm sticking to it, I'm gonna show them all my ideas. But there's a lot of confusion. I get questions you have no idea. I get questions like, can you save the settings on your pedals with the looper? It's all analog. How would you be able to save the settings on your pedals? But that shows you, I mean, I'm not saying, whoever asked that question, you're a dumbass. What I'm saying is, there's a lot of confusion about what these do. So, go ahead and watch my PXL series overview. There are 6, or as the Chinese say, 6. That's actually what they do, 6. They all do it in one hand. Don't ask me, this is 7 and 9, no, 7 and 9 and 8 and 10, and I don't know. So anyway, there's 6 videos for the PXL series. An overview over the 4 models that we have right now, and then for each model there is an extra video building a board with it, showing you everything it can do, showing you the trigger functions and everything, how to program it. And there's actually for the PXL Live, which has MIDI and is a little bit more complicated, there is a full tutorial of over an hour. So if you are in the market for it, or if you already have one, this tutorial can actually teach you how to do everything you want to do with it, including continuous controllers, MIDIs and everything, because the manual is kind of lacking. I rewrote the manual for Joyo, but it's not in the box yet. So it will hopefully be in the box, because I kicked their ass and said, put the manual in the box! So, if you're in the market for a looper switcher doohickey, There's the PXL4, very simple, 4 loops, 4 pedals, or 4 switchable loops. Very easy, very simple, not expensive. Video on my channel, 2 of them actually. Then we have the PXL8. Same thing, 8 loops, guitar in, guitar out, very straightforward, very easy to program. Video on my channel, I think it's called PXL series, it's number 3 out of 6 or something. Then we got the Pro, which has 2 sets of 4 loops, meaning either 8 loops or 2 individual sets of 4, and it has 4 trigger outputs and a tuner out. That's the deal, very nice. Video on my channel, 2 of them actually. If you, as I said, want MIDI, this is pretty much the PXL Pro, only 2 trigger outputs, not 4, and it has MIDI out. No MIDI in, you cannot switch any of these with MIDI commands, which would be nice, hopefully coming in the future. Moving on. There is a series of, I think, 4 different videos for the Moen GEC8 Live. A little bit more expensive than the Joyo line, but also more functions, more flexibility in terms of the ins and outs. Buffered, unbuffered, it has 2 MIDI outs or a switch out. Very complicated piece of gear. I have to say, very complicated to program. You really have to know your shit. That's why there is a 1-hour overview, I think 45-minute overview. Then there's a building the board. Then there is a demo of this thing for 40 minutes. And then there's an actual tutorial explaining every function. My shit's in depth. You know that. Moen GEC8 Live, if you're in the market for something like that, go for it. Those videos are already there. Now, Moen liked my video of the GEC8 Live. I call it GEC8. So much that I'm now supposed to do the GEC9. A little bit heavier. And the cool thing about the GEC9, Guitar Effects Commander, it's, in terms of usability, is pretty much the exact opposite of the GEC8 Live. This has, the way I see it, pretty much the same wiring options. 3 individual loops that are completely separate from the other, in this case 6, because it's got 9 loops, so it's actually very rare that you get more than 8 loops. So this is kind of cool, 9 loops, and it is as easy as it possibly could be to program, because you pick a preset, push the buttons of what loops you want active, done. So you just learned how to operate this. It is literally the simplest looper that I've seen so far in terms of programmability. But there will be a video for this coming up, so if you're in the market for the GEC9 and you want to see the video quicker, bitch about it and say, Henning, where is your GEC9 video? I want to buy it, I want to know how it works before I do. So let me know. And then there's of course another one, the GEC8. Is that GEC8? Yes, GEC8 Junior, not the Live. Let me show you, because I put that on my board. Actually, the second I got it, the same day, I built this little board for a gig I have to do on Friday. So this is the GEC8 Junior, and it is extremely small. It is very narrow, and Moen also sent me these cables. Look how clean this board looks. These cables are extremely nice. They're solderless cables, very thin, and the jacks are extremely small. So I was able to build this board with 8 pedals and a tuner, and put it all on the Joyo PBB, which is the it's a 60 by 30 metal board, very nice. So there will be a video for the GEC8 Junior, relatively easy to program, 2 switcher outputs, or trigger outputs, very nice, very small 8-channel looper. Okay, next coming up is a video, and I'm really looking forward to this, but I really want to, get to know it a little bit better first. The Milos Popovic Gainiac germanium edition. It's kind of limited edition because the germanium transistors, as he told me, are very rare. So this is a really nice fuzzy sounding pedal with the gain switch right there. And of course, you know, little update, the Gainiac, we got it Henning edition, with the gain switch right here. And Milos actually took what I said to heart and now is designing it the same way as this, with a gain switch that you can use by foot. The ins and outs are on the front, which on a pedal board isn't a big problem, but of course, if you use it on the floor, that might not be the best idea. But those are amazing pedals, and many people have written him. Many people have purchased this pedal, and everyone writes me back and says, "Oh my God, best overdrive distortion on the market." So if you want one, check out the Gainiac video and write Milos through his Facebook site. He will gladly make you one. So what else is on this board? Well, you can see some stuff flickering, and that is Strymon. I've done some translations for Strymon into German, and they were kind enough to give me some pedals for that. So, let me see. I decided that there's a lot of Strymon videos out there, and a lot of extremely good Strymon videos, and these things are very complicated. I mean, not complicated to operate, but they have a lot of functions. So doing a video for these will be time consuming. Here it is. If you want videos for the Strymon pedals, let me know if you actually think that the other videos are not good enough, which they really are. You know, there's a lot of crappy videos out there, but Strymon has been tested and demoed by the best. So, do I really need to do it? You decide. Anyway, there's the El Capistan, the Brigadier, which frankly is one of the best analog sounding delays I've ever tried. And the Big Sky, if you're in the market for a reverb and you've got the dough, you've got the money, there is nothing better than the Big Sky. But let's look at this puppy. You will notice that there is no Mobius on here. Well, I have the Mobius from Strymon, and it's an amazing modulation pedal, but it's not on here. Well, first of all, because of space, but also because this thing, to me, is the best sounding chorus I've heard to date. It's the Red Witch Empress chorus, also switchable to a vibrato. With mix depth, the voice will actually give you subtle chorus to very lush chorus. You've got a speed control, which there's a feedback, you know, the light shows you the speed, and a bright switch. This is an incredibly flexible chorus with an amazing sound, and so far definitely my favorite chorus of everything I've heard up to date. And there will be a video for the Red Witch Empress chorus, which has been supplied to me by Ralf Schlübe from Go4Music, which is the German distributor for Red Witch. So, looking forward to that. And, well, talking about Red Witch, he also sent me, talk about boutique shit, man, sent me the Titan delay. Titan! Now, it's a cool design. Looks rather simple, doesn't it? But it's got these 3 triangles. And each triangle is a delay with level delay time and feedback. As far as I remember, up to 1,000 milliseconds of delay time for each one of them. And you've got 3 individual delays, which you can have in parallel or in series. So this is a very special puppy. This is a very special sounding delay for a very specific group of people who need a specific delay sound. But it does it extremely well, and it's a niche in the market. And it even has an effects loop. And you can put other effects on your delays. So we're going to test this in great detail once I've played with it a little bit more. Red Witch Titan delay, also from Go4Music. Very, very many thanks. So, long overdue are the reviews of these things. I've got 4 of them. From Caline, another Chinese company, and I thought, well, I'll give them a try. You know, I do a lot of Chinese pedals. So this is a new company on the market. They still need some work on the names, and they're redesigning their colors all the time, and yeah, they got some issues, but let's talk about the sound of the pedals, which is really what we care about. Quality feels really nice. This jack that they have feels extremely nice. It's been told to me that this is more difficult to install, but they're doing it. Very nice rubber feet. So overall feel, when you get them, when you unwrap them, is, oh, this is nice, this is high quality, but it's very low price. So we're gonna look at the Crazy Cacti, which I gotta say it, I'm sorry, I'm a Nazi when it comes to names. Crazy Cactus. It is not several cacti, it is one cactus. Crazy Cactus. Chinese and the names, really not happening. Any Chinese company should really have a consultant that's not Chinese for the names. Sorry. Pure Sky. Very nice light overdrive. We're gonna look at that. And then talk about cool names again. Distortion. It's the Caline, Caline. No one knows how to say these names. Joyo, relatively easy. Mooer, Caline, Caline. You tell me, I don't know. So the distortion, actually pretty nice. Haven't played around with it too much, but we will in the video. And then there's a very simple 2-control compressor called the Hot Mushroom, which I think now looks different, but I actually really like this design. They should go back to it. Come on, that's kind of neat, huh? Very simple. They look kind of boutique. So that's what's coming up. Let's go back to Strymon. If you want, I will do a Strymon Flint demo. Do you need it? There are enough Strymon videos out there. But anyways, Flint. 3 reverbs and an amazing tremolo. If you're into like vintage kind of sounds, you have like a 1-channel amp, you want to play Strat, and then you need this puppy, because it'll just give you everything that a modern boutique amp doesn't have, maybe a tremolo and a reverb, and it'll make, you know, a Fender Twin out of it. Very nice. How many flangers do we need? Most of the time the answer is none. I've played with some flangers and they never really made it on any board, and it's always like, yeah, it's nice, but do I need it? Until you plug this in. Strymon has nailed it. The Orbit flanger from Strymon, they have absolutely nailed a flanger sound that is flexible enough and just sounds good. It just sounds good on clean, on solos, on whatever you want to do. So there are good demos of this. You want a demo from me? Please write it in the comments. Of course, this demo would take 3 weeks. It's the timeline. Many good demos out there. If you want a timeline delay demo from yours truly, let me know and I will maybe put in the time. Same goes for the Mobius. Modulation at its finest. Especially the Univibe and the rotary simulation is amazing, but if you want to destroy your sounds, the Destroyer will do that. Formant, vintage tram, pattern tram, chorusing, flanging, plunging, awesome. So, which brings us to, you think that's all? No. I've got all this shit sitting here and I gotta do videos for it. When would I do that? I mean, I got Destiny on the Xbox. I gotta play Destiny. When would I do the videos? I mean, so much stuff to do. I'm already level 21. How cool is that, huh? This will show the amount of people that are equally pedal nerds and video game nerds. You know, comment now. Are you both? Let me know. And if you're playing on Xbox One, Destiny, let me know your screen name, your gamer tag, and maybe we play around. So, brings us to these little things. The Mooer Spark series. I'm kind of torn whether I should do videos for these. I think it's a cool concept. I'm not blown away by the sounds. And I've talked to more about that, but they have some cool ideas like this Echo, which has a built-in reverb only for the delays. So they have really cool ideas, And I'm thinking maybe I owe it to you to show you these things. So we got the Spark Echo. And if there's any of these you would want to hear first, please comment and I will make sure I accommodate you. So the Echo, which is a delay with a built-in reverb, but only for the delays. And then there's the delay, analog delay with some modulation, which is a little bit fast. Distortion, kind of cold sounding but very powerful distortion. The flanger, definitely smaller than the Strymon, but if you want to, we compare them. I'm going to tell you right away, the Mooer Spark flanger is very small, but it cannot, compete with the €200 more expensive product. But if you want a flanger for here or there, this is great. So let me know if you want to see it. The reverb, which right now is kind of in revision. I think they're trying to fix some of the muddiness that it has. If you want to see video, maybe we wait and I wait till I get a new one from them. Nice tremolo, the Spark tremolo. Subtle chorus, the Spark chorus. Spark overdrive, you decide. And the compressor, which does a nice job. You need compression sometimes for clean. Put that on your board, very small, doesn't take up a lot of space, Spark compressor. So you let me know which ones you want to see first, and I make sure I get to those videos before I get to the other ones. Whew, that looks like a lot of work for good old me in the Chinese outfit. But no, there's more. Right now, there's 6 pedals on the way from Moval, the Mini Titans. We had 6 pedals in the Mini Demon series, and in the same size, kind of the more size, we now have the Mini Titans with a chorus, a phaser, some distortion, some overdrive, I actually don't know, a plexi thing, something like that. So they're coming and there will be videos, most certainly, whenever I get to it. And of course, there's also 6 new pedals from Joyo in the Iron Man series, which I've tested while I was in China, and I gotta tip my hat to the guys. With maybe the tiniest bitching about 1 or 2 controls that could be a little bit more responsive, they've made amazing pedals. The little blaster is pretty much like a crunch box, which just blasts your rhythm sound out through the wall. The metalhead is so far, from what I've heard in China, the best metal distortion pedal I've ever had my hands on. Hands down. So that's coming. Future chorus, a very subtle chorus. It's not like crazy. It's always subtle, but it's perfect because you can never mess up. It's a very nice chorus, which I'm really looking forward to. Time Magic and analog sounding, digital delay. What else did we have there? The old school, very nice, overdriven rock sound. So really cool pedals coming, and that's already 12 of them. And I don't know how many I've got here. So I'm going to leave it up to you to prioritize. Of course, the Gainiac Germanium edition from Milos is something we have to look at, because holy crap, the guy knows how to make pedals. And Red Witch is also one of my priorities, because I can't say priorities, because that chorus just blows me away. It's really a chorus that you might want to leave on most of the time. And that says something. So I'm going to strip out of my China outfit and put all this stuff away and wait for you to tell me what's next.